I am someone with a lot of hobbies. I love to read, to crochet, to do ceramics, to write, and even then, I find new things that I want to try all the time. In this video, I am going to show you a weekend in my life trying to make time for all of those hobbies. I'm starting off this video on Friday afternoon. I just finished up my work for the day and I'm starting off this weekend with some alone time. I've talked on here before about how I am someone who needs a lot of alone time, but I'm also someone who has a lot of lovely people around me, so it takes a lot of specific planning to make time to do things alone. So tonight I am taking myself on a little solo date. I'm going to do some of the things that I love to do. And the first thing I'm going to do is go on a run. Now, I have been a runner for maybe 2 seconds. I technically started running in October, but I struggled a lot with trying to be consistent and actually going every week. And then a few weeks ago, I signed up to run a 10K in April. So I created a training schedule and I've actually really been enjoying running now. It's a little strange because I've never been someone who really enjoys exercising, but I think the excitement of having something to actually work towards and seeing improvement every time I go makes it really fun. So far, I've not necessarily been enjoying the run while I'm doing it, but I'm enjoying it when I finish and also kind of when I get to go. I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to go there and like see if I can do any better than I did last time. But every time I'm actually on the treadmill, I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying and I'm so unfit and I'm not necessarily having fun in the moment. But that's something we're working towards. I think the more I go, the more I'm actually going to enjoy the run itself. So that's what we're doing as the first activity. I'm back from going on my run. This might be relatable for some people, but I always feel like that there are sporty types in the world and there are people who don't really do sports. And I've always fallen into the not really that sporty category. Like, I have worked out also semi-regularly, but I just have never felt like I was a sporty person. I've never identified with that. Being a runner or being a swimmer or being a cyclist, feels different than just going on a run every once in a while. And for the first time, I feel like I could be a runner. I feel like I could do this every single week and I would really enjoy it. Even though I'm still very much a beginner at this, like I ran 3 kilometers in total today and it almost took me out. I just never thought that I would find something sports related that I would actually enjoy and also would want to do every single week. I'm just really happy that I found something that I enjoy. It's an interesting experience that the thing that I'm enjoying is in the sporty world instead of in the creative world, because every single hobby I have is a creative hobby. I have about an hour before I have to leave again, and there's 2 very important things that have to happen between then and now, and that is, first, I want to take a long, nice shower. I want to wash my hair. I obviously need to wash myself, and then I need to eat dinner. I have the ingredients for fish and chips in my fridge, so I'm going to put the chips in the air fryer and then take a shower while they're cooking and then have dinner after my shower. I am quickly breaking into this vlog a few days later because there is one big hobby that I haven't talked about in this vlog and I really wanted to talk to you about. And that is my writing. I have been writing for as long as I can remember, but I've taken it seriously since I was about 18. I have taken bi-weekly classes ever since then. And writing is a big part of how I express myself and how I express emotions. And it is the one place I go to when things feel heavy or things get rough or I have big emotions, whether they are good or bad. I just always resort back to writing. And I've been really wanting
going to share that writing with you. I've considered different ways to do this, but I eventually settled on a Substack. Substack is a place where I can share my writing with you through a newsletter, but I chose Substack because it's an easy way to get my writing into your email inboxes, and I think that is a really great way to have a little bit of my writing with you during your week. I have been subscribed to multiple different Substacks, and it is so fun to get this email with a subject that you like reading about and having a little break during your workday to read that email. And I really appreciate that it's long form content in a writing way, whereas, for example, on Instagram, I feel like your captions should be as short as possible, and it's not really encouraged to have written word. But with this, it feels like I can write a little love letter to all of you. There is an option to have a paid version where subscribers have to pay a monthly fee, but so far I have not done that yet. So you can still read my work for free. I might do that in the future, but not so far. You can, however, make a donation if you would like to, but you can totally read my work without having to pay. If this sounds interesting to you, and if you want to support me and my work, you can find the link to my Substack down below. I am really excited about this. I actually started my social media career thing when I was really young, and I started my own blog. I would post on that blog every single day, and I did that for years. And then eventually I started making YouTube videos because other people who had blogs were also making YouTube videos. So I kind of started with writing and then ended up making videos. And that was years ago. I was like 13 when I did that. None of that is up anymore, but it is just so important to me to have this place of writing and to be able to share my writing with you. I think that is just like an intrinsic part of what I want to do. So thank you so much if you subscribe. That really means the world to me. And now let's continue on with the video.
I had dinner, and now it is time for the second part of my solo evening. I am about to go to the cinema. I'm seeing the film We Live in Time. It is with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, two of my favorite actors. And I don't really watch movie trailers just because I don't want to get spoiled for the whole film. But I think that it is like a very sad story, or at least I know one of the main characters gets really sick. I actually have a cinema subscription, so I can go unlimited to the cinema, and especially in the winter, I love to use that. I go to the cinema with my boyfriend and my friends all the time, but if you have never been to the cinema by yourself, you are missing out, because going to the cinema is one of the easiest solo dates, because once you sit down and the movie starts, it's not awkward or weird, or it's not weird anyway, but like it doesn't feel awkward anymore because nobody notices. So the only moments that might feel a little bit uncomfortable is right before the film or right after the film, but those are small compared to maybe going out for dinner or something else by yourself. And just the feeling of going to the cinema, getting a big tub of popcorn and sitting there for 2 hours, probably crying my eyes out, is just something that sounds really good to me right now, instead of like sitting on my couch and watching a film here. So that is what we're going to do, and I am going to take you with me, of course. Hi,
Goedenavond.
heb je nog een kaartje voor We Live in Time
Ja,
straks?
zeker. Zaal 6.
Super, dankjewel, werk ze.
I'm trying to find some kind of closure. Spinning circles at the roller rink. I could walk or skate.
I am back from the movies. I had a really great time. I really enjoyed the film. I definitely think it's a little bit more of a poetic film, so that's something that you have to like. I feel like these types of films are a little bit more like, they're slower, they're more cinematic, they're more open for interpretation, instead of like having one specific event that happens and then the whole movie is about that, you know? What I really liked about this movie is that it's basically just made up of moments that almost everyone will experience or has experienced in their life, both positive and negative. I am going to talk about the movie for a bit, and I'm not going to give any like big spoilers, but if you like not knowing anything about films before you go into it, you might not want to watch this part. Because the film mentions very mundane things, but very big things as well. So it's about falling in love, about starting a relationship, it's about family, it's about children, it's about sickness, it's about career and having goals and working towards things. It's about having people around you and dealing with the choices that the people around you make. But like I said before I went, there is a big part of this film that talks about being sick and about dealing with sickness around you. I spent pretty much half the film just like silently crying in the back of the cinema, not because there is one big like super sad moment, but just because I felt the emotions of the characters so deeply. Again, both positive and negative. So I thought that was really, really well done. I had a really great time and I'm really happy that I went by myself. I am now really tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep. And tomorrow morning, I have my ceramics class once again. If you have seen any of my other videos, you might know that I take a ceramics class every single Saturday. It's one of my favorite things because it is a hobby that is planned in, and most of my other hobbies are things that I have to like initiate, but this is on my calendar every single Saturday. I'm going there and I'm spending time on this hobby. We had a little bit of a Christmas break the past 3 weeks, so I haven't actually been in the studio for a while, so I'm excited to go back. So tomorrow I'm going to try to throw something new. I think I want to throw either a bowl or a plate, and I also still have some things to glaze. With glazing, there's basically two things you can do. You can either glaze it in one solid color, which is a little bit more of a fast process, or you can do what I like to do and you can paint on your ceramics, and that takes a lot longer, but is something that I really enjoy. So usually if I have something to glaze, I will spend most of the class on like painting that thing. But since it's been a few weeks since I had class, I want to make sure that I throw something, just because if I don't throw for a couple of weeks, I will have a hard time getting back into it. So after a break, I like to make sure that I throw something new so that I keep practicing. I will obviously take you along, but I just wanted to kind of introduce my plans for tomorrow. Anyway, I am going to go to sleep now. I'm really tired. I might read a few pages of my book, and then I'm hopefully gonna get a good night's rest. So I will talk to you tomorrow.
Sadness wrapped around a frame, would you see yourself? Someone that you used to be before you was buried in responsibility. I know it's hard to see all the things that you could never be. Written in the stars and embroidered in your name, but never was. How it hurts to know. To be stalks you in your dreams and makes
Hello. It is dinner time on Saturday, and I just got home. I had a lot of fun at my ceramics class, and then I decided to go have a coffee by myself because I was gonna go home, but then I was like, I'm really excited to read, and I was very close to my favorite coffee shop, so I decided to go sit there for a little bit, and it was actually nice enough to sit outside. It was definitely cold, but I had a big puffy jacket on, and the sun was out, and I don't know if you realize, my country broke a record this year of the most amount of days of there not being like direct sunlight. It was cloudy for like a record amount of days in a row. So having sun, even though it was cold, was like groundbreaking. So I sat outside in the sun with my coffee and my book, and it was really, really nice. And then I came home and I sat on the couch and I read even more. I started reading the Throne of Glass series at the beginning of 2024. And for the past few months, I've been struggling through the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. And I am now officially 75% through the tandem read. And I am finally having fun. This has happened to me with almost every Sarah J. Maas book I have read so far. I read the full ACOTAR series and then Throne of Glass up until now. And every single time, the first 50% are just super boring. But then the final 50% are really interesting and really good. So by the time that I finish the last book, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited to read the next book. And then it's again 50% of just boring stuff. My camera fell and that like almost gave me a heart attack. But my camera is fine, thank god, because I just got this camera. But it's okay, nothing happened. My point was, I'm actually really enjoying these books right now, so I'm really excited to continue reading. I am now going to make and eat dinner, and then tonight I have a party because it's the birthday of one of my friends, so we're gonna celebrate that. I'm making these sushi tacos that I saw on TikTok for dinner, where you put rice on nori sheets and then put them in the air fryer so they get crispy and then add your fillings, which sounds delicious. So I hope it is delicious, and then I will talk to you later when I get ready for the party. All right, hello, it is time to go. I'm quickly getting ready to go to the party, and I quickly wanted to talk about parties in general when it comes to your weekends. For a long time, especially when I was a little bit younger, I felt a lot of pressure to have parties planned on the weekends. And if I didn't, it felt like I didn't have any friends, or I was like not cool, even if I did have other things planned that I, really enjoyed doing. But I always felt like whether or not I had like a party or a going out event on my weekend kind of determined how cool my weekend was. I think there's a lot of people who feel this way. And I just wanted to mention that especially in this period of the year when it's winter, I very rarely party. I go to more parties in the summertime just because I'm more excited to go to parties in the summertime. But very often, if I have a party in the wintertime, I kind of don't want to go. Today as well, I had this moment where I was sitting on the couch and I was just like, it's cold, I'm tired, I don't really feel like socializing. Like the party I'm going to tonight is from a friend that I'm really close to, and I'm really excited to celebrate his birthday, so obviously I'm gonna go. But I am a lot more specific about which parties I do want to go to and which parties I don't want to go to, just because I know that this is the time of year where I want to be inside more. And I also think that sometimes the amount of parties you get invited to can feel like a resemblance of how many friends you have. And if you don't have a party every weekend, it might feel like, you don't have enough friends. And if you don't feel like this and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? This part might just not be for you. But I felt like this when I was younger, and I just wanted to mention it because I think more people might feel that way. I have some of the best and kindest people in my life, and I am so incredibly thankful for all of my friends. But I don't have a big friend group that parties every weekend, and if I celebrate my birthday, I don't have like 50 people to invite. But the people I do have in my life are people that are really, really important to me, and I'm really close to, and I love very deeply. And even if that's less people, even if you have one really, really good friend, that doesn't mean that you don't have enough friendship in your life, because I think the quality of the friendships is more important, way more important than how many friends you have. So if your weekend is filled with a lot more alone time and you do things that you love, but you may not have very many people to do them with, that doesn't matter. And I hope the amount of friends you have doesn't keep you from doing the things that you love. That's why I wanted to start this video with a solo date as well, because I feel like a lot of people wait for people to do things with, and they don't do them if they don't have anyone to go with. But learning to do things by myself and doing the things that I want to do despite whether or not I have someone to go with is one of the best skills I have taught myself in the past few years. If there is a movie in the movie theater that I want to see, I will go see it. If I want to go into the city and have a coffee, I will do that, even if I have to do it by myself. This is a little bit of a random rant about friendship in general, but I just hope that if you watch this video, you don't compare yourself to what I do and do not do. I know that I do a lot of things in one weekend, and that is because I'm very extroverted and I get a lot of energy from doing things. But if you do one thing a weekend and the rest of the time you're spending at home, you're reading your books, you're doing other things that you love, and that is how you enjoy spending your weekend, then please don't compare yourself to me. And maybe there's people watching this who go out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and they have a big hangover on Sunday, and that is how they like to spend their weekend, and that is what they prefer, and that's just not what I do, and that, like, it doesn't matter. The whole point of your weekend is that you get to do the things that you enjoy. I'm not here to tell you what to do, I'm just here to show you how I spend my time. All right, I'm ready to go. I am not going to film tonight, but tonight is not some crazy party. I'm not going to drink very much or come home very, very late. I have plans again tomorrow that I want to feel good for, so I'm just going to go have some fun with my friends and celebrate a birthday, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Hello, good morning. It is Sunday morning. It is about 11:30 right now, and I'm about to head out because today I am doing a revisit to a hobby that I haven't done in a long time, because today I am playing Dungeons and Dragons. I played D&D before about 3 years ago, but I played it with a group who had all never played before, so I was actually dungeon master. So I have never played a character in D&D before. I have just played as dungeon master, but we got a little friend group together that actually has some experience with playing D&D, and we also have a dungeon master that has led campaigns before. So I get to play a character this time, and I'm really excited. I think things like this are really fun, especially to have planned with a friend group and to just like go over to someone's house and spend the whole afternoon playing a game, whether that is just like regular board games or a game like this. I think I have come to appreciate these types of hangouts a lot more in the past few years. So I'm really excited to go over to our friend's place and play some D&D. So let's go.
Lately, my monkey mind is turning over.
It is Monday morning, technically not the weekend anymore, but I wanted to show you one last thing before I end this video. I wanted to show you that I have started a sourdough starter. I literally started this yesterday and I wanted to talk about it yesterday, but I forgot. I'm about to feed it again, so I wanted to talk about it. I have absolutely no prior knowledge about bread making or sourdough in general, and I have seen a lot of videos. I am starting this journey right now. I'm really excited to try this, and I'm really excited to learn something new, but I'm also very aware that this might not work the first time, it might not work the second time. Like, I am allowing myself to figure this out as I go, instead of trying to know everything before I even start. Yesterday, I started my starter with 15 grams of flour and 15 grams of warm water. And today I took out half of the starter and I am going to once again add 15 grams of water and 15 grams of flour. So it's a 1:1:1 ratio. I don't know if that is right. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something different, but that is my knowledge so far. And I am going to keep learning. So if I eventually figure out that I have to do it some different way, then I will. Anyway, this is what my starter looks like right now. I think it's looking a little bit dry, but I'm gonna leave it like this. And then tomorrow I might add a little bit more water. I'm learning. I will see how this goes. I hope you know that even if you're bad at something, you can still enjoy the process and you can still like doing it.